Hello! Welcome to Glow Gaming. So I'm Gloriana, and today I will show you how I do my thumbnails. But first, I want to thank the Super Guitar Bros because they let me use their beautiful covers for this video. The link of their channel is down below the description. And that's it! Let's go for the tutorial! Okay, let's open a new file in Adobe Illustrator. File, New. And let's put the measurements of our artboard. I highly recommend 1920 pixels. As you can see, I have it here by 1080. So our drawing will be HD. Alright, once we have our artboard, let's go to Line Segment tool. And let's go to Rectangular Grid tool. Let's click our artboard. Let's input again our measurements here. And let's put the horizontal dividers and vertical dividers. Alright, we have our grid. Let's place the grid in our artboard. Perfect. Now let's lock this grid. Let's lock this layer and let's name it grid because we don't want to move our grid by accident. Okay, the second layer, let's create a second layer and let's name it reference image. In this layer, we are going to place Takumi Wada's drawing because we really like how he made Zelda proportions in this drawing. Let's drag the reference image and let's put it behind the grid so we will be able to see our grid. Let's create a new layer and let's name it projection lines. And let's go to line segment tool. Let's put the line in red. And let's make or lines in the most relevant areas so we will know where to place every element. Okay, let's Control C and Control F to copy the projection lines. So we will put another one at the top of her head, another one at the end of her chin, another one at the end of her neck. Let's copy another one where her waist starts. Let's copy and paste another one. Let's place it at the end of her foot. And let's place another last one at the end of her other foot. Alright, let's lock these two. And let's create a new layer. Let's put drawing. This is the layer where we are going to make our drawing. Let's select paintbrush tool. Let's select color black. Let's reduce the thickness to 0.25 points. And here, let's select this brush. You can use any brush you like, but I really like to start with thin brushes. And at the end, I like to increase the thicknesses of those brushes. But for now, let's just select that. Okay, let's start with her head. Right now, as you can see, I'm using some guidelines in the background because it will be quicker for me showing you how to do this, because without these lines it will take me forever and we don't want that. So that is why I'm using these lines. But you will use just the grid as I did the first time I did this drawing. You will use just the grid and you will use the projection lines. Okay, let's put, well, if you don't like how some lines look, you have two arrows here, one black arrow and one white arrow. So when you click on the white arrow, you will be able to modify some anchor points to get the desired shape you want in your lines. Let's delete. If you can delete some anchor points if you don't want those points to show. Alright, let's go to the other side. Alright. Yes, we are doing this part of her face. If you have a digital pen, it's way better, and if you have a tablet, way better too. I used to have a tablet, but not now. So I'm doing everything with the mouse. Alright. Okay. Then let's go here. Let's make this part. Alright, then let's do the neck. See, if some lines are not accurate like this, let's just change the anchor points and then they will look how we want. Okay, let's go to our brush again. Alright, let's make her hair. Alright, now let's go with the part of her shoulders. Alright, and well, we have this part. Once you finish all the boundaries, you will have something like this. And now we can go to the second step. Alright, the second step will be the face. Let's click on line segment tool. Let's put it in red. And let's trace some guidelines to know where her eyes are. I will do these ones quickly to show you how to trace them. It will be something like this. Okay, once you have your lines, you will get something like this. Let's lock them in place. Let's be sure we are on our drawing layer. Let's select our paintbrush tool, and here let's go with black. Let's select our brush style. Let's make sure we have our brush in pencil thin. Alright, now we can make her eyes. Her eyes will be something like this. Let's start here, and then we make another line here and another line here. We can use the white arrow if you want to modify some points as we like them, like this. Alright, after that we can use the ellipse tool to make the pupil, well, the iris actually, to make the iris of her eye. Let's make it like this, a little bit like that, I think. Okay, now let's change the style of the line to the style we're using. Let's create another ellipse to make the pupil, and let's switch the filling with the boundary, so we will have a filled pupil. Let's copy and paste the same ellipse, and then let's just change the style of the line, and we can create some highlights, some bright points of her eye. Oops, nope. Okay. Yeah, let's move it. No, I want to move it. All right, finally. Let's move it right here. Let's place it right here. I think is where that point should be. All right, we can increase a little bit the pupil. The place will be around there. We can take the brush again and we can make more details in her eyelashes. You don't have to be perfect. As more sketchy your lines look, as better your drawing will look, trust me. Don't be perfect. Okay, let's make some shadows here. Let's make some shadow in her eyes. Some texture. All right, let's see how it's looking. All right, it will be something like this. Now we have, see, I made a geometry in the background, but you don't need to make that geometry. It's a step that can be very complex for other people. I can visualize the geometry of the drawings because I'm an architect, but you don't need to do that. That can be really complex, so you can just skip that geometry I made in the background. Okay, we will have something like that for her eye. This will be her eyebrow. Let's follow the blue lines to make her mouth. That will be something like this. Okay, her mouth will be something like that. And you can detail her ears, for example, her beautiful pointy ears. Like this. And yes, you can add all the details you might need. And once you have the face, you will get something like this. And now we can move forward to our next step. Okay, once we have our face, let's go with the details. Let's take chic image for reference. Let's paste it in the reference image and let's lock it in place. Let's go to our drawing layer again. Let's take our brush tool. Let's select black color and the thickness 0.25. Let's make sure we are using the brush we want, pencil, thin pencil. All right, and let's make sure we are in our layer and we can start with the details in her outfit. All right, as you can see, I have another lines in the background, so I will show you very quickly how I do it. Otherwise, it will take forever. So let's just trace the lines to make these details in her chica outfit. Alright, it will be something like that. And here. Perfect. Yes, it will be like this. You don't have to be perfect because this outfit has a lot of details and it will take forever, so I'm just showing you the basics. Let's make chica eye. As you notice, the eye is in another angle, so make sure you are using that angle. Let's trace the eye. It doesn't have to be perfect. Anyways, I will modify it at the end with the white arrow here. I can just adjust some parts in here. Oops. See, so we will make the curve as we want it. Yeah, it will be something like this. Looks weird. All right, let's just do this and do that. See, this is how we will make our eye. I'm just doing it quickly to show you, but you can be as precise as you want. Well, there are some anchor points we can remove if we don't want them. All right, that looks better. Let's go with this side. It will be like that. Let's make this side. All right, now let's go with the insides. We can use our ellipse tool to make the center of the eye. It will be something like this. Let's change the style like this. And now we can add these offsets here. And the triangles. See, I'm not making them perfect. As more sketchy as your drawing looks, as better, trust me. Okay, will be like that. And then let's make the overall shapes of the outfit. We have one triangle here. We have another shape here. Another one here. All right, it's looking nice. Okay, let's add some details here. The bandages she has in her waist, like this. Some details here in her arms. Yeah, it will be something like that. Her bandages, like this. And then she has more bandages in her fingers. And she has that globe there. The bandage here. The detail in her globe. And some bandages here. Then this will be her her hat, and this will be her scarf, so you won't see her face. She can be a ninja and you won't know she is Zelda for sure. And well, we can add more details here in her legs. These lines, they don't have to be 100% perfect. We can modify them later. And here, in her boots, it will be something like this, I think. And the same with her boots. It's divided in some pieces. Remember that with the white arrow, you can change the shapes of your lines. If you don't like the shapes, you can modify them. All right, those are the details. That's good for now. Now let's add the colors and the textures. let's go with the shadows. Let's select our paintbrush again, and let's change the brush type. Now this is the one we were using before, the thin one. Let's use now this one, charcoal. Oops, it's very thick. Let's decrease to 0.25 and let's add our shadows. Many people skip this step because they are satisfied with their vector drawing. But if you really want your drawing to pop out and to call the attention, to make it catchy to the eye, don't skip the shadows. Okay, let's add some shadows here. I'm using again some guides in the background so I can remember where the shadows are. As stronger as your drawing looks, as better. So don't miss your shadows. Let's add some shadows here. Let's add some shadows here for her nose. Another shadows here. See, our drawing gets better as more shadow as we add. And we don't have to be perfect, like I said. Alright, we need a lot of shadows here. See, it's looking way better now with the shadows. That is the secret of a good thumbnail. The shadows. Don't skip these. Okay, let's go with the shadows in her hair. But I think I will change the thickness here. Let's make them thicker here. Yeah, some parts can be thicker than others, so just don't be afraid of shadows. I used to be afraid of shadows, like I know I don't want to mess up the drawing, so I won't make shadows. No, your shadows will never mess up, make your drawing worse. Your shadows will always make your drawing better. Alright, we have some shadows here in her legs and others here in her knees. Yeah, we have some shadows in the bandages here, like this, and another one's in her boots. Alright, see, it's looking way better now with the shadows. Alright, let's put the shadows we need here. Okay, more shadows here. Okay, this is what will we get. It will look like this at the end. Oops. See? This is how it will look like when you finish your shadows. Now we can go to our next step. Once we have our shadows, let's create a new layer. Oops, okay. And let's name it colors and textures. Let's make sure we lock all our previous layers so we won't move anything. We will work just in colors and textures layer. Let's select our brush. And let's trace some shapes in the areas we want to paint. It doesn't have to be perfect. Alright, it will be something like this. Let's just switch like this. And we can modify a little bit the boundaries. It doesn't have to be perfect. I don't like when the drawing is perfect. I like the flaws. Alright, here we have our boot. Then let's make our other boot. Alright, now let's do the same, like we switch the background with the boundary so we will have a field shape. And we will do that with all the rest of the parts we want to paint. Now, once we have those parts ready, we will have something like this. Okay, we have it right here. And now, I can show you how I do textures. For example, let's select the boot and let's go to basic. For example, basic graphic dots. And this is how I add texture to my drawings. Some people thought that I was doing point by point, dot by dot, but no, it will take forever. See, this is the beauty of the technology. Look all the variety of textures we have in here. This is just amazing. I'm very glad to share this with you guys. We have lines too. I use lines sometimes according to what I want, according to how I want the drawing look like. Imagine doing this by hand, it will take forever. But see, now you know how I put textures to my drawings. Okay, but right now we don't want dots, we don't want lines. I want to go with colors. So let's go to these Illuminate Styles. Let's start with, we can see chic colors. We have a light blue and a dark blue. Let's use the dark blue first. For this, for example, dark blue here. Another dark blue here. Okay, let's remove. Sometimes they come with some boundaries and we don't want that. Well, this is how we will paint or drawing. And the good thing is that we have shadows already, which is fantastic. So we don't need to add shadows. Imagine doing this by hand. That will take forever. So let's just paint these shapes with our styles here. Alright. Then we have a lighter blue here. We can use that one. Yes, we have a darker blue here. And we have another here. This is the same blue, so we can use just the same blue. Yes. Now let's go here to paint the rest of the shapes. These ones I think are dark. Oh, okay, these two are dark. These three are dark and these two are lighter. Alright. This is dark, this is dark. Alright. This is dark too. And these are lighter. We can use the eyedropper too, so we can mimic the same color we are using. What else? Okay, let's go to this part. Let's use the eyedropper, the eyedrop to that part, and maybe this one. Oops, that one is dark. Okay, it will be like this. Perfect. Now let's go with the hair, my favorite part. Okay, we have the hair here. We have the shape we create for the hair. And let's go for some Illuminate yellow. Can be like this or like this. So pretty. I think we'll go with this super bright one. Let's do the same with the rest of the pieces from the hair. We can use the eyedropper tool. Alright. And now let's go with her eyes. We can select one of these gradients. Right, it can be like this. Okay, now once we have our colors, we can go to the layers. And we can put this layer, drag it behind the drawing. And voila! If we drag our layer behind the drawing, then the drawing will be on top of the layer, and this is on top of the colors layer, and this is what we get. Okay, we can paint Chica logo too. Let's go to our super illuminate colors. Let's pick a red. So nice. This is so cool. Love it. I like this one. Wow, look this texture. Imagine doing this by hand. This is so great. See, some people are not agree with digital art. They think it's cheating. But it's incredible the time this will save you, for sure. Technology is good. Okay. I think we are good with this step. We have our Zelda Chica painted. Now we can go for the next step. Now let's create a new layer. Let's drag it to the bottom and let's name it background. Okay, we will make a rectangle. Okay. Now let's make another rectangle. Like an offset of that rectangle. Okay, we have it right here. Let's change the style of the line to these sketchy lines we like. And we have our frame for our thumbnail. Let's lock this layer. Okay, now let's create another layer. Let's name it bubble text. Okay, and now this is very funny because this bubble text, I take them from PowerPoint, which is hilarious. But right now I don't have PowerPoint to show you where they are. You just go to PowerPoint, and in some of the menus you can see they have these text bubbles. Let's take this one. Okay, let's paste it in our layer. See? We can use the rotate tool to make a reflect tool, so we can make the bubble and put it here so Zelda can talk. She can speak. Alright, another text bubble could be the ones I use for the thumbnail. That is one like this, I think. I don't remember. Okay, let's place it here. Let's scale it. Alright. Now, another thing, add logo. Okay, I just need to look to the file where your logo is, or where my logo is, and I just place it here in this part. And well, sometimes I can change the shape of this thing so it will look like this, I think. Has like a double lines here. Okay, another thing I do is that I give a little bit of the strength to this bubble by copying it. I will copy this bubble and I will put some scribble effects here. This one, let's take this one. I don't know why it looks like that. It shouldn't. Alright, now let's take it to the background. Arrange, send backward, and now our bubble will have a little bit of more strength by doing that. Alright, and let's add our text. This is a tool here named text, but first let's go to the layers. Okay, all this is in background, right? Nope. Okay. Okay, the bubbles are okay. Bubble text. Let's create another layer named text. Okay, now in this layer we can add the text. Oops. How to? Let's change the size of the text. Let's put something like this. And the type of font I use is minimal. You can find this font you can find this text, this font in thefont.com. See, this is the font. You just download the font and then you will open it and then you will install the font into your computer. Mine is already installed, so I don't need to install it again. So after this, I will just increase the size. We can try some 200 maybe. Well, that's too much. Let's just go for 100. And we can center it or however you want it. And here we can copy the text And we can make Zelda talk. Let's make her say something. We can put 50 here, I guess. Good, I like it. And what else? Okay, let's create a line here. Let's give a thickness to that line, and let's go to our basic lines node or artistic brushes, and let's grab this one, for example. Let's increase the thickness to 10 or, well, less, I don't know, maybe it's too much. Well, that's good. We can change the style, maybe this one, let's put 5. Alright, but we're still in text. I will put this in another layer. Let's put this in bubble text layer. Maybe logo can be in another layer too. Let's create a layer named logo, and let's paste that in logo layer. Yeah, make sure that you have everything in separate layers. It's way more comfortable working like that. Okay, let's copy this text and let's put some captions here. Zelda chic. Oops, we lost the font. Alright, let's just replace this for the dash. Well, let's make it like that for now. And let's make it white. We can change the style of this. Let's make it a little bit thicker. I don't know. Maybe, I don't remember which one I used. It looks like it was this one, but I don't remember. Okay, it can be that one. I will increase the thickness. Alright, like that looks good. Okay, and now we can go to our final step. Zelda zoom out call, so you can see more detail on her. The last step, which is creating a clipping mask. Let's create a new layer here, or last layer. Let's name it zoom callout. Alright, now what we will do is let's copy our princess, these two layers, drawing and color textures, these two layers, let's copy them at the same time. Let's paste them. Oops, it's taking a while. Well, maybe too many textures. Oh no, my computer is having a stroke. Okay, good. We have it here. Okay, let's move our Zelda a little bit to the left, so we will have room to put our zoom callout. There is good. And let's create a rectangle in our zoom callout layer. We want the callout maybe this size. Let's put some thickness, 2 points, it can be good. Or we can just mimic this one with the eyedropper to have the same length. I couldn't see it because it was behind the background, so cannot be behind the background. Alright, now that we have it, let's copy our rectangle. Oops. Alright. And now let's increase the size of our drawing so we can see more detail in her face. Let's make sure that this drawing is not in the drawing layer. Let's put it in the zoom callout layer. It's taking a little bit. Alright, now we have it here. Let's place the picture exactly where we want it. It can be a little bit bigger for sure. Okay, I think the size is good. Now let's put her in the center. All right. Okay, now let's do this. Let's switch this rectangle to the front and let's make sure we are in front of the drawing. Then let's select everything. Let's right click and then let's click on make clipping mask. And ta-da! Avada Kedavra, we cropped our princess. And now let's place her in our rectangle. And voila! Ta-ta! So pretty! We have her. And this is all, my friends. As you can see, every single part or every single piece of this thumbnail is separate in layers. Don't forget to do that. For example, we have our zoom callout in this layer. We have our background in this layer. We have our logo in this layer. We have the bubble text. And we have our text. Make sure to have everything separate because that is how you will be organized with your drawing. For example, if I turn off the colors and textures, I will just have a black and white drawing. And then if I turn on the colors, then we have our colors. And these three layers here, projection lines, grid, and reference image, are the layers I turn off because I don't need to see the drawings I use for reference. I don't need to see my grid. And I don't need to see the projection lines. So let's make sure we turn those off. This is the end, my friends. See how nice it looks. You can increase the size of the title of your thumbnail. If you think it's too small, let's put 150 to see. Well, maybe this is too much now. We can increase the size. It will be good. And that's it, my friends. I hope you enjoy it.